start. So basically, if we just very quickly look at what we did until now. So basically, we are discussing problem solving techniques or like solving problems using programming.
Yes, sir.
So the idea is that we saw that, okay, whenever we are solving a problem, it is not that straight away we are writing the code. First, we are understanding the problem. We are analyzing the problem that, okay, what is the problem? What is that we have to do? What are the inputs? What are the constraints? And what are the output?
Yes,
That,
sir.
that we identify. And based on that, we write a algorithm, like step-by-step solution we try to find out. And then we implement that in the code. So
Yes, sir.
this exercise we did it for factorial. Like the problem was to find the factorial of a given number. Like the number we are taking from the user, we have to find the factorial. So first we identify the meaning of a factorial. Then some input-output relationships we identified. Then we made an algorithm. We made an algorithm, some n-step algorithm. Then we also looked into flowchart. Like flowchart is like more closer to the stakeholders. Like it is the visual representation of an algorithm, which is more closer to the stakeholder, and algorithm is more closer to the developers, the coders. And in the flowchart, we saw that, okay, it's a visual representation. It has some symbols like start, stop, process. Process means whatever variables we assign, whatever computations we do. For that, we use this symbol, this like process. Then decision making, for that we use this diamond. And for input output, we have something like this. And we made a flow chart for factorial of a number. And if we focus in this,
Yes, sir.
so definitely in the flow chart, first we start. The first step is to start. Then we have to read the number. To find the factorial of a number, first we want to get the number. Then do some initialization. Like fact is equal to 1, I is equal to 1. Then we will check that the number should be like the I, which is 1, the iterator. It should be less than or equal to the number. And what I will do, I will multiply the fact with the I. Fact is 1, I is 1 initially. Then I plus plus I will make 2. And once again, I will check whether 2 is less than num. If it is so, fact is equal to fact into I plus plus. And I will keep on doing this.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I will keep on running this loop until this condition is true. Because this decision making, it simply says that, okay, if the condition is true, follow this path. Otherwise, follow this path. And we will do that. And let us suppose once the condition becomes false, then I will simply print fact and I will stop.
Yes, sir.
So this is the idea. Now we will look at the next concept. Now we will focus a bit on that pseudocode.
Okay,
Because
sir.
because we have already seen that. We use pseudocode rather than writing the program in the original code. First, the solution, we frame it in the pseudocode.
Okay, sir.
So pseudocode. So what is a pseudocode? Pseudocode is basically high level algorithmic description. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The advantage of pseudocode is that it is independent. Pseudocode is independent of syntax, of programming syntax, independent of specific programming syntax. See, pseudocode has got its own syntax, but the idea is that I will tell you. Let us suppose we are solving a very interesting problem or we are implementing some very interesting stuff. Now
Yes,
I have
sir.
to communicate that. How I will communicate that? If I use any particular language, then the other person should know that language. Like if I am communicating that in C language,
Yes,
then
sir.
then everybody should know the C language.
Yes,
And
sir.
it is difficult. Why it is difficult? Because in the industry, the companies they are working for the clients, and clients are people who don't know programming.
Yes,
Like
sir.
they can be entrepreneurs, they can be companies, they can be businesses, or they can be some professionals.
Yes, sir.
So they are not aware of coding. So what they want is they want user friendly understanding, and pseudocode helps us in achieving that. So in pseudocode, rather than following any programming language, we follow some simple style, some very basic style we follow in the pseudocode, and it is used to communicate what the program is doing, what those set of instructions are doing, that we can communicate.
Okay, sir.
So pseudocode basically it bridges the gap bridges the gap between the algorithm's high level logic algorithms high level logic and its actual implementation in a programming.
Okay, sir.
And it is understood. Now let us look at one example to get a more clear understanding of pseudocode.
Yes, sir.
Pseudocode. for finding factorial of a So let us suppose the problem in the problem which we want to solve is finding the factorial of a number. And if we want to communicate this problem not using any programming language but using pseudocode, then let us see how we will do that. And
Okay, sir.
it is very important exercise we are doing so that we will get an idea that okay how the pseudocode looks like and how we will be dealing with it.
Okay, sir.
So the first step is read number. In pseudocode, there is no need for writing start, stop, and all that.
Okay,
Just,
sir.
just we say that read number. And it's so understandable. Then fact is equal to 1. I is equal to 1. Then I am using a loop while I is less than or equal to number. So this is the condition. I is less than or equal to the number.
Okay, sir.
Fact is equals to fact into I. I is equals to I plus. Like this is the same logic, but we are writing the pseudocode code for that. And pseudocode, whenever we end the while loop or any loop, we have to
Yes, sir.
mention that. We have to mention
Okay, sir.
to make it more readable, more understandable. Then write. So we have written a pseudocode for finding the factorial of a number.
Yes, sir.
Now, can you explain me line by line what is happening? Just okay. So
Oh,
this line, what it is doing,
sir, the read number.
and
Sir, no, I was asking, sir, the first line that.
yeah, read number. That is right.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Reading
in
the
this,
number.
yes, sir. Sir, we are reading the input number that we are getting from the user.
Okay.
And sir,
Then
in the second line, uh, we are initializing the variables like fact will be equal to 1 and I will also equal to 1.
okay. Then
So then we are starting a while loop. So in a while loop, we are repeating like the specific like uh, condition we have until like we achieve it. So our loop is that if the number is less than or if I is less than or equal to number, then our loop will start, and the first condition of the loop is that fact will equal to fact into I, and I will equal to I plus 1,
okay.
and then
Then
we'll end the loop while loop, and
mhm,
then we'll write the factorial.
okay. That is right. So now you got an idea.
Yes,
Now what I will do? Now I will make it bit tricky, wherein I will give you a pseudocode.
Okay, sir.
A random pseudocode I will give you, and you have to tell me what it will do or what it is doing.
Okay, sir.
Start. Read. Sum is equal to one, two. Sum is equal to and four. Display sum. Stop. So take 2 minutes. Like take your time, not 2 minutes. Like आराम से ही do.
Okay, sir. Sir, also you said that in pseudocode we don't write start and stop.
No, it's fine. If they have written, it's okay.
Okay, sir.
Like you just have to find what it is doing.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So are you able to find what it is doing?
Sir, is this like showing the sum of numbers that we are taking as input from 1 to n, which is like the input we are getting?
Mhm. No, so be precise. Be precise.
Okay, sir. So we are
So
starting with our
no,
pseudocode.
no,
Then
wait,
we
wait,
are
wait. What I will test in that manner, I will give you one input. Like let
okay.
us suppose input is 5.
5.
Now tell me what it will display. Like what will be the output. If n is 5, then according to the pseudocode, what output I will get, you tell me that. Then I will understand that, okay, you are able to understand this.
Okay, 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, take your time.
So I don't get it. So like we are declaring the variable sum is equal to 0, and then we are starting a for loop which we
Mhm.
have I is equal to 1 to n. So in this case we have 5. So I will be 1 to 5, right?
Yeah,
So
that is right.
so then it says that do sum is equal to sum plus I. So sum is still 0, right?
Yeah, so 0 plus I. So I will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5.
So like it will be done in like separate steps or like what? So like we are declaring I is equal to 1 to 5. So it will take one first, then two second, like that.
Yeah, okay, okay. Let me help. And that is why this assessment is very important because it tests your understanding. And now I
Yes.
can see that you are facing problem. So no need to worry. Let us understand what is happening. So let us just focus here.
So it will maybe it will print the numbers that we have till n.
No, no, how it will. So print, so display we are doing after the loop. So only
Yes.
one time it will display and it will display the value of this. Okay.
Okay, so
So,
I get it. Sir, I get it. So the sum value gets updated.
okay. Okay, let me simulate. So see, this loop, first I will be 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will write it properly. And let me know if you face difficulty in understanding. So initially I is equal to 1 in the loop.
Yes,
Then
sir.
when I is equal to 1, sum will be initial value of the sum, which is 0 plus
Yes,
I, that
sir.
is 1. So sum will become 1. Then I will become 2. When I will become 2, sum will become initial value of the sum, that is I 1. Because now the sum has become 1 now. 1 plus I, that is 2. So sum is like I can write 1 plus 2. Then I is when I will become 3. Because every time I is incrementing. Because if they are not incrementing, also it is understood. In the for loop, every iteration I will increase. It is understood.
Okay, sir.
Because this iteration, this for loop, it will run n number of times. Like whatever is the value of n, according to that, it will run. If
Yes,
n
sir.
is 5, it will run 5 times.
Yes, sir. I didn't realize that. I thought it would just run one time and then end, but
No, no,
it
no. Always,
do.
always remember
Yes, sir.
whenever for loop is given, while loop is given, and no increment is given, then also it is understood that okay, that will run that many times. So sum is equal to initial value of the sum, that is 1 plus 2 plus the value of I, that is 3. Then I will be 4 because this loop will run till I is equal to 5. When I is equal to 4, sum is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus then I, that is 4. Because this is
Yes,
the
sir.
initial value, like the previous value, and this is the value of. And when I is equal to 5, when I is equal to 5, sum will become 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Like previous value of sum plus so this will
Okay,
be
sir.
equal to 15. So what will be displayed? 15 will be displayed because the final value of the sum is what it will be displayed. The
Yes.
final value of the sum is 15.
Okay, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. So now at least you got an idea, like you got a skill to analyze the algorithm.
Yes, sir.
And this is what is problem solving. In problem solving, we have to design the algorithm and analyze the algorithm. So
Yes,
first
sir.
we design the algorithm. First we write the step-by-step solution. Okay, I want to achieve this. So this is the step-by-step recipe of achieving that. Then in analysis, I try to identify whether the recipe which I have made is it efficient.
Yes, sir.
Because in problem solving, it is not just about getting the right answer, but it is getting the right answer very fast, perfect, like efficiently.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. So this is clear to you. So pseudocode, now you got an idea.
Yes, sir.
Now let us look at some key features of the pseudocode, like which we already know, like, but some important features if we like can discuss.
Okay, sir.
Or here itself I can, like we have seen, it is language independent, high level.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
and one more feature we can write in pseudocode, no strict syntax is followed. Like pseudocode itself does not follow any strict syntax.
Okay,
No
sir.
strict syntax. So pseudocode is language independent. It is readable and understandable, as we have seen. It's high level algorithmic description. No strict syntax is followed. And it uses high, like natural language. Uses natural language. Pseudocode uses natural language.
Yes, sir.
And hence it is readable and understandable. It is readable and understandable. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now let us look at some benefits offered by the pseudocode. Benefits of pseudocode. The first benefit we have, it is very useful in planning and designing. Because whenever we are planning something or designing something, many a times we have to rub it, write it once again, change it, alter it. Because
Yes,
planning
sir.
is not a one-time process. No?
Yes, sir.
Pseudocode gives us a flexibility because it will be very difficult that if we write the real code, then we change it multiple times. Pseudocode to anyone can write. Even the client can also write in English. Like some steps he can write there. Okay, I want to do this, do this, this.
Yes, sir.
And because of this planning and designing, what the main benefit we get is we can identify, helps in identifying the logical error. Helps in identifying the logical error. And also it helps in refining the algorithm's logic. Helps in refining the algorithm's logic. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Because let us suppose we thought some logic, like we came across any problem which we have to solve. We
Yes,
thought
sir.
the logic. Now, if we just straight away implement that, it might be that we might be missing something very important.
Yes, sir.
It might be that we might get the right answer, we are happy, but we might be missing something very interesting. And so the best practice is that whatever you're thinking, rather than directly coding it, first you make a pseudo code of that, and then just give some time, some focus to that. Then you will realize that, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can refine it. And that refinement can give you magical results, because that
Yes, sir.
basic refinements you will be doing, that will take your solution to the next level. And also it helps us in identifying the logical errors. Definitely the solution which we have thought, it might have some errors, or some things we might miss. So when I talk about error, there are like two main categories of error, or three main categories of error you should know. Very important discussion I am making.
Okay, sir.
Let me write it somewhere here. So now we are discussing something about errors. When we talk about errors in coding or in problem solving, so we have something called as syntax error. We have something known as syntax error.
Yes, sir.
And do you know what is the syntax error?
Yes, sir. Sir, like when you don't write the proper symbols and like when you don't follow the proper syntax.
Yeah. So while actually coding the program, while we are actually writing the code, we might miss some semicolon, or we might make some syntax mistake. Like
Yes,
we
sir.
forget to close the braces, or no. So if we don't follow the syntax, then syntax error we might get. So that is the syntax. And then we have runtime error. What is the runtime error?
So this I don't know.
Okay. So runtime error is that see, your program is like, it is not having any syntax error. It is perfect. And it
Yes,
is
sir.
not having any logical error also. It is perfect. But sometimes what happens when I will run it, it does not run. And why it will not run? I will give you some example. Let us suppose I am trying to divide a number with zero in the program. It
Yes,
is not
sir.
possible. So whenever such kind of a operation, or such kind of a computation is taking place inside our program, at that line, the program will not be able to run, and it will throw the runtime error. Runtime error means that program is not able to run. It is syntax, it is not having any syntax error. It is not having any logical error, but it is unable to run because n by 0 is not possible, and hence it will throw runtime error. Or sometimes, let us suppose we are we are writing a code
Yes, sir.
uh, which involves some network communication. Some communication is involved, but unfortunately, we are not connected to Wi-Fi.
Yes, sir.
Then it will throw the runtime error because it is not able to establish the connection with the network. It will say that unable to establish the connection, so runtime error. So the program will not be able to run. Like when whatever resources it needs, if it is not available, then it will throw the runtime error.
Okay, sir.
So runtime error is here.
Yes, sir.
And what is the next one is the logical error. What is logical error? Are you aware of the logical error?
So like when you're implementing something and the logic doesn't make sense, but like the code is correct.
Hmm. That is all. That is very well. So the idea is that we are supposed to add two numbers, but our program is multiplying two numbers. Then logically it is wrong. That is the logical error. That what the program is supposed to do, if it is not doing that, but it is doing something else. Like program is running, it is not having any syntax error, it is not having any runtime error. But what answers it is giving, that is not what we want. It is giving some bogus answers or so we say that, oh, there is a logical error.
Okay,
So
sir.
so whenever we are solving the problem, if we plan it properly, if we write the pseudocode, then we will be able to identify is there any logical error, and we will be able to define the algorithm.
Sir, so logical errors are like intended, right? Uh,
Yeah.
it's not unintended, right?
No, it can be unintended also, like sometimes we know, but out of laziness or carelessness, we derive the wrong logic for that.
Okay, sir.
Like we know, okay, how to uh, find the solution of a quadratic equation. We know that okay, there is a formula, but formula I might write wrong in the program, and if the formula is wrong, then every time it will give me the wrong answer, and that is the
Yeah.
logical error.
Okay, sir.
So this is one benefit. Another benefit of pseudocode is that it helps in collaboration and communication. Collaboration and since pseudocode is written in like easy language, like user understandable language,
Yes, sir.
we can very easily communicate our ideas using pseudocodes. Third benefit is transition to coding. So the idea is very simple. See, we know that okay, pseudocode, once we have a finalized pseudocode, now implementing the pseudocode into actual program is easy. Like if I have a pseudocode, I can implement it in any language I want. I can implement it in JavaScript, Java, C, C++, Python, Go, any language I want, I can implement it.
Okay, sir.
And one more very interesting benefit we get. Pseudocode shifts the focus, shifts the focus from syntax to logic. Because in pseudocode, we are not at all concerned about the syntax.
Yes, sir.
Our main focus is the logic.
Yes, sir.
And the pseudocode enables testing and validation. Testing and validation. Pseudocode enables testing and validation.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now we got a very good feel of it. So now, hopefully, we are tuning ourselves into that mindset of a problem solver,
Yes, sir.
mindset of a coder.
Yes, sir.
Because coding is not just writing code. Because writing code, you know, Chat GPT you can also write.
Yes, sir.
Now we have so many generative AI tools, they can write the code. But we are interested in writing the right code, or making Chat GPT to write the right code. There
Yes,
is
sir.
our goal. That is our goal.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let us now do some practice. So now we are trying to write an algorithm to find minimum of three numbers. Algorithm to find minimum of three numbers. Now we will write the algorithm in a very layman term. Layman means like only English we will use,
Yes,
and
sir.
yeah, so that anybody can understand. To
Okay,
just
sir.
give you a demonstration. So the first step will be to get the numbers,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes, sir.
Read three numbers. And we will be reading it in like three variables. We are taking it like num1, num2, num3.
Okay, sir.
Num1 variable, num2 variable, and num3 variable. In the step two, once we got the three numbers,
Yes, sir.
we will initialize the minimum value to 1. Like we will create a variable which is holding the minimum value. We will initialize it to 1.
Okay, sir.
Initialize a variable initialize a variable that is minnum. With value of num. With value of num. So we are assuming that first number is the minimum number.
Okay, sir.
Now that first number has to prove itself.
Yes,
Because
sir.
now we are just making a guess. Oh, I think number 1 can be the minimum number. So I have said that okay, min num is equal to num1. Now num1 has to prove it. So
Yes,
for
sir.
that we will be doing some tests. So what test we will be doing? Let us. The test is very simple. If the minimum number, that is the num1 for now,
Yes, sir.
if it is greater than num2, If it happens, it means that num2 is less than num1.
Yes,
If
sir.
it means that the num1 has failed the test, then
Yes,
num2
sir.
should be the minimum number. Then we will set minimum number is equal to num. Minimum number is equal to num2. If minimum number is further greater than num3, if it happens, it means that num3 is smallest of the three numbers.
Yes, sir.
Then we will set minimum number is equal to and after all this testing,
Yes, sir.
I will be having the answer in the minimum. I will display the display minimum. That's the smallest of, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now let us test it, like whatever algorithm we have written.
Yes,
Let
sir.
us try it out for different.
Okay, sir.
So let us suppose num1 is equal to, okay, you only give three numbers.
Okay, sir. So 3, 2, and 5.
Three, two, and five.
Yes, sir.
So three numbers here, three, two, and five.
Yes, sir.
Now we will initialize min number
Yes, sir.
is equals to number,
Num-
which is equal to 3.
Yes, sir.
Now in this step 3, we will check whether min number is greater than num2.
Yes, sir.
So is the condition true or false for our
Yes,
example?
sir. Min num is greater than num2.
Yeah, condition is true.
Yes, sir.
If condition is true, then we will set min num
Min
is equal to num2.
num2.
So min num will become num, which will become 2.
Yes,
Now
sir.
in step 4, we will check whether min num is greater than num3.
Yes, sir.
Is it num3 is 5 and min num is 2?
So, sir,
Please,
I was agreeing that we will check that. Sir, I wasn't
yeah,
saying that min
yeah,
num is greater.
we will check. In step 4, we will check and see what we get after checking, true or false.
Yes, so min num isn't greater than num3, so condition is false.
And here we will print. And what we
So 2, so num2.
so we will print the value of minimum, that is 2.
Yes, sir.
So we were able to find the minimum of 3 numbers.
Yes, sir. So
And
here
this
in, yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, tell me.
So here in step 2, instead of like if we don't initialize the variable and like we don't assume that num1 is the smallest,
Mhm.
and we just like go on step 3, like we start testing. So like if we do that
It
x
will
is,
not work. It will not.
so why not?
Yeah. Because see, the idea is that now we are checking minimum is greater than num2. So minimum should be containing something now.
Yes, sir. What if we like start comparing the numbers itself, like the variables we have?
Okay, so you are telling that number 1 is greater than number 2.
Yes, sir, like that.
But we have to store the minimum somewhere now.
Okay,
Because
sir.
in programming it is not possible like okay we can do that. That is a different algorithm. I got your point. Wherein you can make use of the AND statement. Like if number 1 like num1 is less than num2 and num1 is less than num3, it means that num1 is less than both the number. We will print minimum is num1. Then
Yes, sir.
else we will check if num2 is less than num1 and num2 is less than num3.
Yes,
Minimum
sir.
is num2. Then we will check num3. If num3 is less than num1 and num3 is less than num2, print minimum is num3.
Yes, sir.
So there no need for any variable. That is possible.
Okay, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So now you got an idea.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we discussed something about pseudocode and
Yes,
we did some interesting analysis of code, like what it is doing, and we looked at some benefits of pseudocodes, and it's very important. And we also looked into errors, different types of errors.
yes, sir.
We looked into one algorithm to find minimum of 3 numbers, and we simulated that algorithm for any 3 set of numbers, and you can simulate it with whatever numbers you want.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so we can conclude the session.